Well, YouTube, I'm back for episode 2 of JV Talks Wrestling. And I'd like to give a shout out to Q Levy. Forgive me if I said your name wrong, for being my first subscriber, even though I just uploaded the channel yesterday. And I want to thank everyone who gave it a like, gave it a view, and continue to keep that trend going, because I need all the support I can get. This is something I want to do for people like me who are wrestling fans, and I want this to be a success. Like I said in yesterday's video, give comments, give feedback, give constructive criticism. Let this be a platform to where, we can interact with one another and just talk about wrestling. That's what this show is all about. So it's June 13th, 2018, and there's a correction I need to make on yesterday's video. It's supposed to be June 12th, but it's June 13th. But today is June 13th video. And today we're gonna, with Money in the Bank, this Sunday on the WWE Network, I want to do a video on potential directions they can go with each Money in the Bank participant. Now tomorrow, I believe I'll do a short video doing my NXT TakeOver predictions, and on Saturday, I'll do my Money in the Bank predictions, and then do a fallout from each one with my reactions from the show. But today's video is going to be about each potential direction for each Money in the Bank participant. I'm going to start with the women, then I'm going to go to the men. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each participant who's going to be in each Money in the Bank ladder match. And I'm going to talk about what's the best way, if they were to win, what's the best way to go with them if they were to have the contract. Okay, so the women's Money in the Bank ladder match is Ember Moon, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Lana, Naomi, and Sasha Banks. Okay, I'm going to start with Ember Moon. And if you watched my video yesterday, you should know that my two predictions to win each match is Sasha Banks and Rusev. So, but I'm going to give my opinion on what will be best for each person if they were to win it. Let's start with Ember Moon. Ember Moon, she's new to the main roster. She just came off of a great run in NXT. I think it's too early for her to win the contract, but if she was, I think she should hold it for a long time and then cash it in on a babyface, and that would, give her something new, a nice heel run. Because you'll see a lot of things. A lot of these things are going to kind of repeat themselves. You're going to see a lot of heel turns. But there's scenarios that I think would give us as fans the best product. But I think she should hold it on for a long time, maybe till Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble or something like that, and then cash in on whoever's the best, whoever's the babyface champion on Raw at the time. You're going to hear a scenario a lot where I talk about Bayley getting back into the women's championship picture and being the champion. And that's going to come into my Sasha Banks prediction. Okay, now, second woman is Charlotte Flair. Now, I'm not really a big fan of people losing once they cash in their Money in the Bank contract, but I think if there's anyone who could take a loss in Money in the Bank, I mean, not losing the match, but if there's someone who could win the contract and then cash it in and lose and take that in and not kill her that badly, it would be Charlotte. Because every time she said it last night on SmackDown, she's been the NXT Divas Champion, the Divas Champion when it was still a title, the first ever Women's Champion when it came back. She's a 4-time Women's Champion. I think she's a 2-time or a 1-time SmackDown Women's Champion. She's won a lot of titles. We all know that. She's Ric Flair's daughter. She's the ace of the women's division. So I think she should, to continue this ongoing thing. Well, it's not really an ongoing thing, but to continue what she had with Asuka, I think she should try to cash in on Asuka, not just run up to her, but come before time and say, hey, Asuka, at such and such, I want to match with you. Maybe at one of the lesser known SmackDown it's not SmackDown anymore, it's dual branded. But one of the lesser known pay-per-views, something like Backlash or something like that, she challenges Asuka to cash in her title and, calls for him. That makes the match, and then she loses. And that will kind of put Asuka over. Asuka got the one Charlotte got the win at WrestleMania. Asuka got it back, and then that could set up another big match next year, WrestleMania, between the two. If they don't go with the Ronda Rousey Charlotte thing like everyone says. Which these predictions are going to go completely against what everyone is predicting for things to happen with WWE in the next year or so. Okay, then we have Alexa Bliss. Now, this is the thing I said about waiting for the babyface champion. And I don't know the scenario. Maybe she wins it against Nia Jax, but Bayley or someone like Sasha Banks gets back into the title picture. And Alexa Bliss is just such a good heel. When they get the title, maybe the night they win it, Alexa Bliss goes in there with her little 5-foot self and she cashes in the contract. And then on a vulnerable babyface who just won the title. Maybe they just won the title from Nia Jax. And, if the story they built since Nia Jax is such a dominant force is that Nia Jax put so much of a beating on her, and the champion who just won overcame so much. And now Alexa Bliss just comes out of nowhere and cashes in her contract. That's where I think they should go if she were to win. Somewhat of the same thing with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch needs something new. I've never been that big of I'm not a hater of Becky Lynch, but I'm not really the biggest fan of Becky Lynch either. But I think a heel turn would be good for her. Maybe she could cash in on, like I said, on the SmackDown side. You may be able to just do the same thing with a babyface coming out as champion. You could make it Asuka. You could make it maybe you could make it Naomi. She did win the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. And her and Becky Lynch kind of have a friendship thing going on. And then all of a sudden, good old happy-go-lucky Irish Becky Lynch is the bad guy now. Then we have Natalya. I'm going to just say the best thing is like what everyone's predicting Natalya is the favorite to win the Money in the Bank because she could turn it into something with going on with her and Ronda Rousey. That's if Ronda Rousey wins the title. So, Natalya wins. She gets involved with Ronda. And then there's the heel turn that comes. Okay. Lana's the least likely, I think, to win. But you never know with WWE. This is what I think would be a good situation for Lana. Lana would align herself with the champion. Try to be all buddy-buddy and stuff. Just be because I think she... Now, leave this in the comments. Whatever happened, if you know what happened to Lana's voice? Because Lana, she used to speak in the Russian accent. But now she's speaking, like she's normal. Like she's an American person again. Not saying Russians aren't normal, but, she's speaking like she's an American again. Because she was like, I'll win the title this past. And I'm like, what? Lana, you're Russian. You're the ravishing Russian. You're supposed to roll your R's like this. That wasn't an R, but leave me alone. But I think she should align herself with the champ. And then at the last minute, bam, turn her back on the champ. And then she cashes in the championship. And everybody sees it coming but the naive champ. And then that submits Lana as a heel. And maybe she could do something with Rusev. I don't know. But like I said, she's the one I said who's least likely to win. Another heel turn would be with Naomi. Now, she's another one who I think is unlikely for her to win because I predict in my head that in the coming months, they're going to try to put her in the championship scene again. So maybe she would be someone getting cashed in on. But if she were to cash in, I think, and I love Naomi, but she needs a fresh start as well. There's a lot of these people that need a fresh start. And you're going to see that more when I discuss the men's Money in the Bank. But a good heel turn. She cashes in on the babyface. Maybe it's Asuka. Maybe it's Charlotte. Maybe it's... I don't know. Maybe Becky Lynch wins the title somehow. But a good heel turn would refresh things. I think WWE can use both of these ladder matches as an opportunity to really freshen things up. Now, Sasha Banks, who's my prediction to win, I think she would. Her story will be the most interesting. Okay. Sasha wins Money in the Bank. Bayley gets back into the title picture, and Bayley wins. Bayley is the champion. And maybe when Bayley finally wins the title, maybe she wins it from Nia Jax. Maybe they do this, Bayley overcoming the bigger opponent in Nia Jax, and she finally beats her. Maybe a Bayley to belly off the top rope or something like that. I think I saw that in NXT. I'm not sure. And when she finally wins the title, her best friend, Sasha Banks, comes out there and cashes in on her. Then you have the feud everybody wanted to see earlier in the year that we never got. That's why I think Sasha Banks is going to win this. Okay, let me get into the men. Braun Strowman, I think Braun Strowman would have something more like the Charlotte thing, but I don't think he'd lose, because I'd really like to see Braun Strowman as champion, because, he's another guy that's really over, and we've been waiting for the longest for them to do something major with him, because, the thing with Nicholas was funny at WrestleMania, but Braun Strowman is this big, dominant performer, and I believe he could really carry the world title, because I just want to see. At this point, I really don't care who has the Universal title as long as we see it every week. You may as well just get rid of it if you're not going to have it on TV. Comment if you agree with me on that. So I think Strowman, I think he makes he comes out and says, "This is a triple threat match," because at SummerSlam he does that with the Reigns versus Lesnar match that it's probably going to happen. And he says, "This is a triple threat match now." But like before the match, like after they both make their entrance, you just hear, JoJo's announcing, and all of a sudden you hear, "Roar!" And then he's like, "This is a triple threat match." And then he wins the title. And then Lesnar goes and does something else. But next person on my list for the men is Finn Balor. I think a good heel turn would be good. He turns heel by cashing in the Money in the Bank, and he aligns himself with someone. I don't know who's someone that's not doing something. You may be able to line him with Elias. Nah, but he's not really dominant enough. I need a big guy. Maybe someone like the caliber of the Big Show. If Big Cass was on Raw, that he would be a good candidate for that spot. Someone who's big would help him take out Brock Lesnar, and then he goes on a heel tear, and he finally gets his Universal Championship back by cashing in on Brock Lesnar. Now, everyone wants to see the Daniel Bryan versus Miz match, which I'm not crazy. It will be a good match because, it's Daniel Bryan for one, but I'm not really crazy about it like other people are. But if Miz wins, I think a good scenario would be to have a fatal four-way. I have Nakamura winning the championship this Sunday at Money in the Bank. But a fatal four-way match between Nakamura, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan. Bryan wins, and then Miz cashes in on Bryan. And then you set that rivalry into place. Miz is WWE champion. You could start the story with Miz and Bryan. I don't think this match, the Miz and Bryan match, should go on at WrestleMania. I think they should do it now, because I don't feel it. This is just my opinion. I don't feel it being that important to be a WrestleMania match. I want to see Bryan versus Nakamura or Bryan versus Styles at WrestleMania. Which, I'm not knocking Miz because he's a great performer, but I don't know. Let me get to Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is a heel turn. Bobby Roode was awesome in NXT. He thought he was better than everyone, and we need to see that on the main roster. I think Bobby Roode could be a great heel for the Universal to carry the main event scene. He could be a great Universal Champion as a heel, going around telling everybody that he's better than them and cheating to win, because his gimmick of being glorious, that's how it comes off. And I don't know why they changed that when he came to the main roster. But in his scenario, he wins Money in the Bank, and then he cashes in. Now, keep in mind, in this scenario, Rollins is taking on Lesnar at SummerSlam, Rollins wins, which that's probably never gonna happen, but Rollins wins, and then Rude cashes in on Rollins. So you have this narrative of, the ultra babyface in Seth Rollins versus the ultra heel in Bobby Roode. Writes itself. Okay, we have Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, I want this. This is gonna be interesting. Okay, Kevin Owens wins Money in the Bank, which I think I'll be the first to say I think Sami Zayn should have got this shot out of the two of them. So in my prediction thing, my direction thing, I have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I don't know how, but somehow having a match for the contract, and then Sami Zayn goes over and wins. Sami Zayn holds on to the contract for a while, maybe even has another match with Owens for the contract, and then he cashes in at maybe the Royal Rumble. You could do it as a heel. You could he could cash in on someone like Rollins and then you have that babyface and ultra heel villain thing going on again. This, like I said, with Bobby Roode. Because I think Kevin Owens, he's the guy that needs to get pushed as a face because he's just so clever. We just can't boo Kevin Owens. Okay, Samoa Joe, he's not really that hard. Which I don't. He's like Strowman. I don't really see him needing to win the contract, but he cashes in on a babyface. Whoever will come out as the champ, whoever's the next babyface to come out as champion, because I believe Nakamura's gonna win. Whoever's the babyface that takes the title from Nakamura, which I believe it'll be AJ or Bryan, Samoa Joe cashes in on them. Then you have the New Day. New Day is interesting too. I say two things could happen with the New Day. Either they stay together, whoever wins, maybe it's whoever is in the match in the first place. I don't know, I think it'll either be Kofi or Big E. But they win. They win the match. Then they cash in on someone like The Miz. Somehow The Miz gets the WWE title. And then, somewhere during the match when they cash in, to keep the comedy angle up, they throw pancakes or do something with the pancakes. Maybe the other two people, the person is not cashing in, the two people that aren't cashing in, they have a big bag of pancakes or something. They throw it at The Miz the whole time. And then, someone like Kofi would all of a sudden just come out and hit Trouble in Paradise, knock Miz out, and then they take the WWE title. Another scenario I have with that is Big E breaking away from New Day, maybe turning on them. And, Woods and Kofi would still stay together, but then you have another big monster heel in Big E, and then he similar like Joe, he cashes in on the next big babyface to get the title, which would be Bryan or AJ. Now, finally, I'm going to talk about my pick, which is Rusev. I see Rusev winning Money in the Bank. And this is, like I said, this is probably not going to happen. It's wishful thinking. But Rusev wins Money in the Bank. He cashes in on Nakamura, who wins the title. Let's say he defends the title at SummerSlam. He wins the title at Money in the Bank, and then he defends the title at SummerSlam. Let's say he defends against AJ. And that would end the AJ versus Nakamura thing. And, Nakamura's the champion now. He's moving on in direction with somebody else. Then you have Rusev, who runs out, cashes in Money in the Bank on Nakamura. And you set up a nice rivalry when you can have some really good matches with Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. Now you gotta push Rusev as a babyface. Can't have two heels. But I think that would be the best thing for him. And hopefully WWE will give us something like that. Because, like I said in my video yesterday, Rusev is over like Rover. It's time to give Rusev what he deserves. When I first started watching wrestling, I didn't like Rusev. But I see him as a performer and as a character who really buys into his gimmick and buys into himself. And I just want to see him succeed now. But that is my potential directions video for Money in the Bank. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Give me some comments and tell me how I'm doing. Give me some suggestions and I'll shout somebody out like I did today. And don't forget that wrestling is awesome. See you guys later.